Hi guys,
Hello, people.
I'm Milena,
Lola.
and we're starting a new show.
God, this is a week of new shows.
Yes, we just started Monster, now we're starting
It's M.
Mad Men.
Yeah, but it's M.
Not a single one falls on Monday. Neither Mad Men
No one fall.
nor
Well, Monday is
Monster.
our break
Yes.
day. Besides
At
other
least
days
right
that
now.
we pick to be our break day. But like usually, this has won the poll. Strap up. We're gonna be strap up, strap in. I think that maybe means something different.
What did you say? Honestly, I mean, no, nothing about this.
This has been. I do think that we put Mad Men on the poll, and I thought Milena thought more than me that Mad Men was gonna win. I wasn't so confident because like it used to lose. I mean, one time we put on the poll, it used to lose. So like I wasn't certain that like Mad Men was gonna get watched, but Mad Men was my like preferred option to watch, just because everyone in our comments talks about it and praise it very highly. So like I think this one is for Kara or Kara. This one's for you, girl. You have for years, you have tried to make this happen, and here we are now.
Honestly, the first time we put it on a poll, I thought it's gonna do so poorly.
Well, look, it was
Like,
I think third out of four or something.
Third, but
Yeah.
like again, it was against Sopranos, so like
Yeah, but like it was
not that
against
fair.
Sopranos, Barry. I don't know what the fourth option was.
Yes, but like Sopranos was that poll like a clear winner, you know, and then it was Barry and Mad Men. But like somehow I thought potentially Sopranos audience would love potentially Mad Men audience, but against Mad Men they would vote Sopranos.
Yeah.
So now when we don't have Sopranos as an option, when you have Mad Men against Barry,
Yeah.
I thought potentially
The voters of Soprano go to Mad Men.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. But Mad Men actually wasn't my preferred option. My preferred option for some reason was Buffy the Vampire
Vampire
Slayer
Slayer.
or something like that. So that was honestly even the show that like not many people suggested. We put it because we wanted to. And wanted to see how it's gonna
Like let's gauge the interest
let's
here.
see if there are some people who would be interested, because again I would consider that a classic as well, a classic that we haven't watched, you know, and that there
I
is
think people
not
think that we have watched the American classics, but like it's American classics. I have not. Like I have not. I mean, you have watched some, but like I have not watched Gossip Girl. I have not watched One Tree Hill. I have not watched The O.C. I have not watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I have not watched like those the Dawson's Creek or whatever. I think those like American not growing up, but like they're teenagers. I watched the Veronica Mars.
yeah, I would say
That's about it.
they're pretty growing up. You watch them when you're
Yeah, when you're like a teenager or
Yes.
like middle
I'm
school.
not saying it wouldn't you wouldn't love them now. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that like you
I think I would love them, but like I think like it's like let's say most impactful
That's
when
what
you're
I
growing
was-
up and watching
No,
it
that's
then.
what I want to say. I'm not saying that you wouldn't love them. I'm saying you would love them more if you watched them
Maybe.
as a kid. You
Maybe,
know,
yeah.
just like I as a kid, from those I have watched One Tree Hill and Gilmore Girls.
Oh yeah.
No, Gilmore. Yes, Gilmore. Of course, Gilmore Girls. But Gossip Girl, because you
Yeah.
said that. And but like I watched them while being in high school, and that was my life. You know what I mean? I don't think that would be my life right now, even though I potentially would enjoy them as well. I don't know.
I was
Have
watching
not-
Grey's Anatomy.
have
That was
not-
my
have not rewatched. I mean, yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know what the point here was, but we're watching Mad Men. It's men, it's not man. Mad Men. I actually know a lot about Mad Men. When I say this, this doesn't mean anything. But like growing up, like on TV, there's like this channel, Fox Life. I think Fox Life, maybe, like where I watched, like I think that's where I watched Grey's Anatomy for the first time, and like there were many shows that were going there, and I just didn't watch all of them. But like I remember, like they had like let's say commercials of shows that they have, like small showings, and they had Mad Men, and I remember seeing Mad Men often, and it seemed like the show that I had absolutely no interest in when I was like 13. Because, I mean, it's set in the 60s or something, and they all are wearing suits. Like, it does not look appealing to me, you know?
Yeah. Things change.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, do you think that, like, Breaking Bad looks appealing to me when I was 14? It did not. But I'm a grown up now. So different things interest me now. Like I have watched, not watched, I have seen like commercials all the time. So like I know the actors in it. We know 2 actors, technically 3, that we have watched in shows.
I know a few, yeah.
Yeah, so like I know that, and I know it's set in the 60s, and I know that it's about like advertising. Or like they're in the advertising company.
Advertising.
They're in the advertising world.
Okay.
Something. I think that's what I know.
I also, what I see, I have no idea. I literally don't know anything about that. The only thing that I know is that I've read comments of people saying that like it has great characters and also great female characters, which we have less than great male characters on our channel, at least.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
so that was the reason why I was, let's say, the most excited about watching this show.
I know like
Have
3
not-
female characters in this show that I think like I have seen like before when I was watching, when I was younger, I like watched this like when people make videos of like characters, like it was called multi-fandom or something videos. I forgot, God, I haven't watched it in so long. But like if it was like female characters, like there will be scenes from Mad Men from characters, and I have like I think 3 women in mind specifically. 2 I know the actresses, 1 I don't know the actress. I'm gonna tell you when I see them.
Okay, I know
But-
2 actresses because like I watched them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we know the main guy. We have also technically watched them in.
What?
We watched him in one episode of Black Mirror, if you remember. It was like I think the Christmas
I
episode or
definitely do
something.
not remember.
But like I just know the man, John
Yeah.
Hamm or whatever. I think that's it. If something comes to mind, I'll tell you. But I think this is what I know. Like I just think it's gonna be about like for female characters. I think it's gonna be about like living in the world of the 60s.
Yeah, I think so.
Where
as well.
like you just got the right to vote basically.
Yeah, I think so as
And
well.
here you are now maybe in the corporate world that like definitely doesn't see you as equal or
Yeah.
anything like that, because
I think that's gonna. I would love.
Yes.
I can't wait to see that.
I
story,
think
honestly.
that sounds very
That sounds very fun.
that sounds very fun to me. I just remember when, like I just remember as if this was like happened years ago, but like on the poll, like I think there was a comment, someone said like, oh, Mad Men is so boring, like something about like something about like constant females in the 60s or something. I think he said the word
Hate
female.
that. So
And I
boring.
was like, this is, are you trying to sell me the show more? Or like, what are you doing? Like, what do you mean?
Maybe that person did try to. Sell
Maybe
it.
maybe this is like a reverse psychology
Yeah.
or something. People have said for me specifically not to read the TV time description of Mad Men, and from Milena, do what you want. You can control her. I don't read the description usually.
Yeah, but I just want to say also that like that like the other person said it only works for first few episodes, and we're gonna binge the show at least for 2 days. You know.
But like, what can be revealed? Like, if it's about finding
Like,
out that it's about advertising, I know this.
Yeah, but technically, actually, we don't ever read TV time descriptions. I have never read it, basically.
No,
I mean, maybe 2 times.
I
in my
forget to
life.
enter TV time, and
Yeah.
now at this point, I enter TV time like 3 times a year, and then I just like.
No, I do because like I like to know where what we're watching,
Yeah.
and where we're at. So like I put that I watched something, but like I don't ever read it. Don't ever read anything
Me
on TV time.
So like it's fine, it's safe. So that's it.
Yes.
This is
No need to talk anymore.
all we know.
Very excited to play this
Yes.
show. Yeah, that's it.
Let's do it.
Let's see what it's about.
I know this intro. Like this music sounds so familiar
Probably
to
heard
me.
it on.
No, I mean it
Fox
definitely. I
Live.
told you it kept going on Fox Live. Turned on my TV, and I saw this. I would have turned it off. They coined it. They wanted to call themselves Mad Men. I think that says a lot.
Yeah. Old gold man, huh? Lucky strike here. Can I ask you a question? Why do you smoke old gold?
I'm sorry, sir. Is Sam here bothering you? He can be a little chatty.
No, we're actually just having a conversation. Is that okay? But what is it? I mean, low tar, those new filters. Why old gold?
They gave them to us in the service. A carton a week for free.
So you're used to it. Is that it? I can never get you to try another brand, say, my Luckies.
I love my old golds.
Eat every last old gold on the planet.
That's a sad story.
It's a tragedy. Would you just stop smoking?
I think I could find something. I love smoking.
I love smoking. That's very good.
My wife hates it.
I forget that
We
like this is the
decided to
60s where you could advertise smoking. I mean, you can advertise the cigarettes.
Ladies love their magazines.
This is what Belgrade still looks like. It seems like he'll be like passionate about like advertising. I know
Not worried
her,
about waking me.
the
will ya?
actress.
A few ideas, Pastor.
Does that mean what I think it means? Because I'm familiar with most of your ideas.
The Trade Commission is cracking down on all of our health claims.
Look at Reader's Digest. Now, this is the same scare you had 5 years ago. I know I sleep a lot better knowing doctors smoke.
That's just it. The whole safer cigarette thing is over. All I have is a crush-proof box and 4 out of 5 dead people smoked your brand.
The part where I say Don Draper is the greatest ad man ever, and his big, strong brain find a way to lead the sheep to the slaughterhouse.
The sheep to the
I don't know, there's
slaughterhouse.
still more. I am over, and they're finally gonna know it. Next time you see me, there'll be a bunch of young executives picking meat off my ribs.
Oh, that's a pretty picture.
You also seem like a young executive. Like, how old are you? I remember that like it was allowed to like make advertising saying that the doctors say it's good for you or something.
Right?
Like that was legal.
You have your own business. You don't mind when I come over.
You know the rules. I don't make plans, and I don't make breakfast.
Everyone's having the tobacco people in 9 hours, and I have nothing.
People love smoking. There's nothing that you, the Trade Commission, or Reader's Digest can do to change that.
Now the advertising for smoking is like black lungs.
23? Not right away. Can you take the long way up? I really enjoy the view here.
You're going to Campbell's bachelor party?
Yeah, I want to be there before
I know
they tie
her.
an anchor on his neck and
Because she's a nice girl.
who wants that?
What'd you do that for? She'll probably be assigned to one of us. And she'll know what she's in for.
I she
Besides, you
knew.
gotta let 'em know what kind of guy you are. And they'll know what kind of girl to be.
Oh, honey, don't worry. I'll get home safely. I have an important appointment right now, so why don't you go shopping or something? It's just a bachelor party, dear. No, I really don't know what they have planned. But judging from the creative brainpower around here, we'll probably end up seeing My Fair Lady. I'm giving up my life to be with you, aren't I?
Someone said I'm giving up my life to be with you.
Great gal. She stole my heart.
And her old man's loaded.
This is the executive floor. It should
Here
be
she is.
organized, but it's not. So you'll find account executives and creative executives all in the same together. Hopefully, if you follow my leads, you can avoid some of the mistakes I've made here.
Hello, John.
Like that one. In a couple of years, with the right moves, you'll be in the city with the rest of us. Of course, if you really make the right moves, you'll be out in the country and you won't be going to work at all. You'll be here just across the aisle from me. We'll both I don't know what your goals are, but don't overdo. You may act like you want
They're
to
smoking in the office.
But most of the time, they're looking for something between a mother and a waitress. And the rest of the time, well,
Yeah. I'm gonna love the female characters here. How do you live in
go
this?
home, take a paper bag, and cut some eye holes out of it. Put it over your head, get undressed, and look at yourself in the mirror. Really evaluate where your strengths and weaknesses are, and be honest. I always try to be honest. It's Joan. And listen,
Joan.
don't take this the wrong way. But a girl like you with those darling little ankles, I'd find a way to make them sing. Also, men love scarves. Good morning, Mr. Draper. Oh, and Mr. Sterling, how are you?
Morning, girls.
$100. Long night?
They said she's gonna be. Oh, this actor.
It's been on my mind.
They said she's gonna be assigned to someone. Is she gonna be
Yeah.
assigned to Dawn?
The whole Lucky Strike family will be here at 4.
Lucky Strike should be happy to know that my friend still
If I was
smokes
worried,
Lucky
I'd ask
Strike.
what you got.
How do I put this? Have we ever hired any Jews?
Not on my watch.
That's very funny. It's not what I meant.
Most of the Jewish guys work for the Jewish firms.
Yeah, I know. Selling Jewish products to Jewish people. It's just that our 11 o'clock's with Mencken's department store, and I wish we had someone to make them feel comfortable.
You want me to run down to the deli and grab somebody?
What?
Mr. Button.
Donald.
Oh, that's.
Draper.
I mean, unless his father was also called
Yeah, that's
Donald.
his
Like a lot of people will like maybe were in.
Red spot.
Wait, when did the Vietnam War happen?
If I know these guys, you're better off with a little sex appeal. Can you give me a woman in a bathing suit, put her next to your guy?
A sexy girl? I could do that.
Give a chance to get a real model.
Oh, I love my work. Speaking of sexy girls, are you going to Pete's bachelor party?
I'm not really big on those things.
Tell me about it. So
Pete.
embarrassing. If a girl's gonna shake it in my face, I want to be alone so I can do something. Should we drink before the meeting or after?
The way that he speaks, it sounds like he's gay.
So,
And then is saying things to be like, oh, I cannot wait to see tits in my face or something. Like, oh, I'm a man. Like, I don't know.
Yes, I just.
That's the way that he said it
No,
somehow.
I agree. Just that I didn't think he was gay. I just thought he wanted to say something fun to him. you
Yes,
know?
I mean, yes. But
That's
like
how
my
I
mind
read
goes to like, what are you hiding? Like, why would you want to do that? But like, he also just wants to like appeal to him.
That's what I.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how it felt.
Considering the public is convinced that cigarettes are poisonous. If we can't insist that they're not, I believe my most recent surveys have provided a solution.
so basically, if you love danger, you'll love smoking.
We could put a skull and crossbones on the label. I love it. So we're supposed to believe that people are living one way and secretly thinking the exact opposite? That's ridiculous.
Let me
He
tell
is
you,
gay.
Dr. Psychology
Literally.
might be great. The issue here isn't why should people smoke, it's why should people smoke Lucky Strike. Suggesting that our customers have what did you call it, a death wish? I just don't see that on a billboard. Has anyone else seen this?
Of course not, it's your code.
Good. I don't want to hear about it anymore. I'm sorry, I just found your whole approach perverse.
Good luck at the meeting. I'm sure it'll be a quick one.
So like, I find your approach immoral, not immoral, but like something. But here we are
Perverse.
advertising perverse. But here we're advertising cigarettes. Morality's out the window. I can wake up in time for the meeting.
Oh,
He was
okay,
in war,
was in
yeah.
war.
So it was his. Is it a purple
Mad Worst,
heart?
yes.
Is that what it was? Purple. What is a purple heart?
There's
When you
a-
get hurt? When you get hurt?
Mr. Draper, I'm sorry to wake you, but Mr. Campbell is outside.
Who are you?
I'm Peggy Olson, the new girl.
Peggy.
Peggy. John, Peggy, Dawn.
You look like $100. Ready to go sweet talk some retail Jews?
You were tough to take first thing in the morning, Pete.
I've never had any complaints. Speaking of which, who's your little friend here?
Oh, she's a new girl.
You always get the new girl. Management gets
He's
on
not
her
even
first.
looking towards her.
Wouldn't be a sin for us to see your legs. If you pull your waist in a little bit, you might look like a woman.
Is that all, Mr. Draper?
Hey, I'm not done here.
God, women
Walking
have it
my way
so
out.
difficult.
Oh, and sorry about Mr. Campbell here. He left his manners back at the fraternity house.
I don't
She's
think
a
he
little
had
young for you,
them.
Draper.
Future Mrs. Pete Campbell's a very lucky woman. When's the wedding again?
Sunday.
Advertising is a very small world. And when you do something like malign the reputation of a girl from the steno pool on her first day, you make it even smaller. Keep it up. And even if you do get my job...
He's that like younger executive that
Yeah.
he was talking about.
He looks like one of the guys who would call themselves madmen.
Yeah, he like coined that terms because like he thinks it's cool. Like the frat bros.
Yeah.
Here you go, Don.
Well, here are our miracle workers now. You know Pete Campbell, of course. Your fellow is Don Draper, the best creative director in New York.
Well, at least the building. Pleasure to meet
He's creative director.
Oh, sorry about that.
I'm Rachel Mencken.
you. I'm sorry, I was expecting...
You were expecting me to be a man. My father was too.
And you are...
Why, Don, you remember David Cohen from the art department.
Of course, David, one of the rising stars here at Sterling Cooper.
Well, why don't we make ourselves comfortable, and Miss Megan, you can tell us what you have in mind.
One of the rising stars here.
Yes, I will.
So, you must be Peggy Olson. Joan Holloway sent you over. She's a great girl. How is Joan?
She sends her regards.
Joan.
She's a lot of fun.
Joan.
Must be a scream to work with her. I see from your chart, and finger, that you're not married. And yet you're interested in the contraceptive pills. Joan sent you to me because I'm not here to judge you. There's nothing wrong with a woman being practical about the possibility of sexual activity. Although, as a doctor, I would like to think that putting a woman in this situation is not going to turn her into some kind of strumpet. Slide your fanny toward me. I'm not gonna bite.
What is trumpet?
I will take you off this medicine if you abuse it. So you're on good, really.
How would you
But
abuse?
the fact is, even in our
How'd you
modern
abuse it?
times, easy women
Yeah, I thought that
don't
we were
find
having
husbands.
sex.
Oh,
Abusing, having
I
sex.
understand, Dr. Emerson.
I'm sure you're not that kind of girl. They're $11 a month. But don't think you have to go out and become the town pump just to get your money's worth. Excuse my French.
I just think we're gonna be doing this a lot.
I'm so
What John's
shocked.
saying is that through a variety of means.
I think
Right.
I'm gonna
I'll
love
have you send out
Joan.
coupon and
Me
select ladies
too.
magazine will
Like she
increase
learned how to
50%
function in
visitation.
this world.
Once we get them into the store,
Mr. Draper, our store is 60 years old. We share a wall with Tiffany's. Honestly, a coupon?
Miss Macon, coupons work. I think your father would agree with the strategy.
He might. But he's not here because we just had our lowest sales year ever. So I suppose what I think matters most right now. Their research favors coupons too.
It's not just research, Miss Macon. Housewives love coupons.
I'm not interested in housewives.
What kind of people do you want?
I want your kind of people, Mr. Draper. People who don't care about coupons, whether or not they can afford it. People who are coming to the store because it is expensive. Gentlemen, I really thought you could do better than this. Sterling Cooper has a reputation for being innovative.
Miss, you are way out of line. Talking about what? This silly idea that people are going to come to some store they've never been to because it's more expensive?
It works for Chanel.
That
Maintenance is
literally
not
does
Chanel.
work.
That's a vote of confidence.
What Don's saying is, Chanel's a very different kind of place. Continental,
It's
it's...
not just another Jewish department store.
Exactly.
You were right, Roger. This place really runs on charm.
I'm not going to let a woman talk to me like this. This meeting is over. Good luck, Miss Macon.
I don't blame you. She was way out of line. Having money and education doesn't take the rude edge out of people.
Well, Roger's not going to be happy, so I guess that's good for you.
Him saying this.
I'm not going to pretend I don't want your job, but you were right. I'm not great with people. And you are. I mean, not counting that meeting we were just in. So, I'm kind of counting on you to help me out. There's plenty of room at the top. A man like you, I'd follow into combat blindfolded. And I wouldn't be the first. Am I right, buddy?
I think this is like PTSD
Let's
inducing.
take it a little slower. I don't want to wake up pregnant.
Didn't he say something before, like about
Yeah.
like not being able to live up to the expectations that maybe he
There's
created?
a place in Southampton. I'm not saying that I've seen it, but it's beautiful.
I love her already.
Nervous, always be a supplicant.
This is like when you enter a zoo. You know how to deal with animals.
I know you girls are busy, but we've got a new one. Peggy, this is Marge, Nanette, and Ivy. I brought you some things. I guess sort of getting to know you here.
Well, aren't you a sweetheart?
Hey, you have great legs. I bet you Mr. Draper would like them if he could see them.
Sterling Cooper, thank you so much for holding out my director call.
I think Peggy's gonna be very fun also.
I just don't know what
Just
we
because
have
we're
to do to make these
watching this
brothers
world through
feel
her
loved.
eyes in some
Yeah.
ways.
They tell us to make a
And all
safe
these women are
cigarette.
like used to
Do
what
it.
it takes to stay in this corporation.
And she's like,
Good enough.
okay, okay.
Through manipulation of the mass media, the public is under the impression that your cigarettes are linked to...
True manipulation of the mass media. As if
Manipulation of the media. Hell, that's what I pay you for. Our product is fine. I smoke them myself.
My granddad smoked them. He died at 95 years old.
We're no longer allowed to advertise that Lucky Strikes are safe. Don, I think maybe that's your cue.
Well, I have been,
does he not have anything? Is he gonna go with
I mean, you know, I'm a Lucky Strike man from way back.
he's gonna go with
I
what
might
the
have a
woman
solution.
said?
At Sterling Cooper, we've been pioneering the burgeoning field of research. And our analysis shows that the health risks associated with your product is not the end of the world. People get in their cars every day to go to work. And some of them die. There's nothing you can do about it. Cigarettes are exactly the same. So why don't we simply say, so what if cigarettes are dangerous? You're a man. The world is dangerous. Smoke your cigarette. You still have to get where you're going.
Well, like, where am I going? To lung
Like,
cancer?
to the
Like, where am I
grave.
going?
If they aren't, is that your slogan? You're gonna die anyway? Die with us? Are you insane? I'm not selling rifles here. I'm in the tobacco business. We're selling America. The Indians gave it to us, for shit's sake.
Come on, Dad. At least we know if we have this problem, everybody has this problem.
Everybody has the problem. Like, everyone smokes. Everyone, what? I want him to
Like,
advertise
what?
tobacco to people. What?
Before we leave, can I just say something? Federal Trade Commission and Reader's Digest have done you a favor. They've let you know that any ad that brings up the concept of cigarettes and health together is just going to make people think of cancer.
Yes, and we're grateful to them.
You make those health claims, neither can your competitors.
Yeah.
So, we got a lot of people not saying anything that sells cigarettes.
This is the greatest advertising opportunity since the invention of cereal. We have 6 identical companies making 6 identical products.
We breed insect repellent tobacco seeds, plant them in the North Carolina sunshine, grow it, cut it, cure it, toast it.
There you go. There you go.
But everybody else's tobacco is toasted.
No, everybody else's tobacco is poisonous. Lucky Strikes is toasted.
Well, gentlemen, I don't think I have to tell you what you just witnessed here.
I think you do.
Advertising
It's
is based
toasted.
on one thing. And you know what happiness is? Happiness is the smell of a new car. It's freedom from fear. It's a billboard on the side of the road that screams with reassurance that whatever you're doing, you are okay.
It's toasted. I get it.
You had me worried.
He had no idea where we were going.
Not drunk.
Where he was going.
Consider the product. He's young, handsome, Navy hero. Honestly, it shouldn't be too difficult to convince
Navy
Americans that
hero.
Nixon is a winner.
Nixon. Well, he is gonna win.
Today.
Thank you, boys. I appreciate it.
Speaking of which, any chance you can patch things up with Rachel Mencken? Any way you can be as charming as I said you were?
Haven't you had enough of my magic for one day?
She's worth $3 million.
You're a whore.
Oh, come on, Don. All hands on deck.
Aren't you gonna help us give Pete his big send-off?
Maybe next time.
I heard you were amazing in the meeting.
Fear stimulates my imagination.
I just wanted to thank you for a great first day. And for,
Poor
standing
girl.
up for me with Mr. Campbell.
No. God, don't do it. God, don't do it.
First of all, baby, you're your boss, not your boyfriend. Second of all, you ever let Pete Campbell go through my trash again and you won't be able to find a job selling sandwiches in Penn Station.
He said he left his fountain pen in here. I didn't know. I hope you don't think I'm the kind of girl.
Of course not. Go home, put your curlers in, we'll get a fresh start tomorrow.
Let's live here. Any more to look tonight.
You have a girlfriend, Salvatore?
Come on. I'm Italian.
Is this a party here? I love this place. It's hot, loud, and filled with men.
I know what you mean.
I love him.
I have a feeling you're like this all the time.
I like to laugh.
Is that right?
No, you stop that. Hey, I said stop it. What do you think you're doing?
You know.
You know what, girls? I think we should go.
Oh, come on.
You're kidding me.
Buy the girls whatever they want.
So, what do you fellas do?
You're looking at the finest ad men in New York. Hell, the world.
Madman.
The lady, a special lifetime,
What is her name?
and 1 whiskey.
So, you're going to ply me with drinks and convince me what a terrible mistake I'm making.
It's quite a drink.
You got in trouble.
I shouldn't have lost my temper, and I certainly shouldn't have treated you like anything less than a client.
Apology accepted.
So, without making things worse, can I ask you a personal question?
Don't you want to get a second drink at me first?
Why aren't you married?
Are you asking what's wrong with me?
It's just that you're a beautiful, educated woman. Don't you think that getting married and having a family would make you happier than all the headaches that go along with fighting people like me?
If I weren't a woman, I would be allowed to ask you the same question. And if I weren't a woman, I wouldn't have to choose between putting on an apron and the thrill of making my father's store what I always thought it should be.
Won't get married because you find business to be a thrill.
I've never been in love.
She won't get married because she's never been in love. I think I wrote that. I must have sell nylons.
For a lot of people, love isn't just a slogan.
You mean love? You mean big lightning bolt to the heart where you can't eat and you can't work and you just run off and get married and make babies. The reason you haven't felt it is because it doesn't exist. What you call love was invented by guys like me.
It's very cynical.
You're born alone and you die
But I mean-
alone, and this world just drops a bunch of rules on top of you to make you forget those facts, but I never forget.
I heard this quote somewhere, I
I'm living
swear.
like there's no tomorrow, because there isn't one.
But it must be hard being a man, too. Mr. Draper? Mr. Draper. I don't know what it is you really believe in, but I do know what it feels like to be out of place, to see the whole world laid out in front of you the way other people live it. There's something about you that tells me you know it too.
You want another drink?
No. But you can tell your boss that you charmed me.
So I guess we'll be seeing each other again?
I'll be back in the office Monday morning. For a real meeting?
I mean, I would be cynical too if my whole life was like manipulating people.
Actually,
Not buying anything.
for the first time today, I'm not selling anything. Peggy live here?
Hold on. Do you know him?
It's okay, Marjorie, we work together.
What are you doing?
Nothing, just sitting in my room listening to records.
I'm getting married on Sunday. You must think I'm a creep.
Why are you here?
I wanted to see you tonight.
Me?
I had to see you.
I'm not even looking at her.
Marjorie? Yeah, Peg? I'm going to bed now.
I called the office. They said you'd left.
I didn't want to bother you.
It's no bother. Just assumed you're staying in the city again. There's a plate in the oven. Unless you're not hungry.
I'm not.
Oh, 2 kids?
Kids, yeah.
I knew he had one. I didn't want to like spoil you. I know there was a wife and a kid because the kid is the actress.
Which actress?
The one, Sabrina, The Adventures of Sabrina.
I have often walked, going right on the street where you live. Are there lilac trees in the heart of town? Can you hear a
Fun.
Loved. This was a very fun premiere pilot episode.
Because especially I think the idea of what it is gonna be going forward to me is so interesting.
I think
I loved everything. I loved everything about like, I was gonna say the plot, but like there's no, plot. It's not like I care much about
plot.
advertising. I think it's interesting. You're manipulating masses. I think there's something interesting about this. But like, I think for every character, I thought there's gonna be something so interesting that you can explore.
That's what I want to say. I think this first episode set up
Yeah.
who these characters are right now and the feeling of the show, like where it's potential, like where it is going.
Yeah.
Like that is what I like the most about this episode, like the potential of these characters, because like they're really, how to say that? I don't know how to explain what I mean. On one side, you know what I mean?
No. They're on one side. What do you mean one side?
Like, let's say
I'm like the
Pete.
guy. Yeah.
He looks like such a jerk.
Oh, I understand.
Such a jackass, you
I
know.
understand.
But I see a potential. You know, like Joan.
Yeah.
She looks like she is. She learned to live in this world, and she accepted it for what this world is, and she is trying to get the best of how this world functions.
Yeah.
Not to change anything, not to do anything. Like fight against some things
Yeah, of course,
in the environment where
Yes.
she works, you know?
Yeah.
Like even Peggy in this episode just accepted this is how I am supposed to
Act.
what I'm supposed
Yeah.
to do, and this is what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to say like some things are over the top. I want to say that like
Oh no, like you mean like everything was exaggerated in a way. Yes. Yes. I think like they wanted to set a scene. Like
That's
I don't
what I
think
wanna
next
say.
episodes are gonna be like this episode was so heavy on the
everything.
like sexism and
Yes,
everything, but like that's what
yes,
the world is, and I
yes.
think like they need to show that in episode 1, just like to like put you in that space, and then afterwards I think, you know, it's not necessary. I don't think they're gonna like, I don't think everything that comes out of a character's mouth is gonna be like sexist or whatever, but
jackass
like
or this
yeah,
or
I don't
that.
think so, but
Yes.
like you know the subtlety behind those words is gonna be rooted in sexism, because like you set the scene, like you know where we are, like so like you're gonna certain things you're gonna read maybe differently because of the way that we have been set.
So that's what I
in the
wanted
world.
to say
Yeah.
when I said we're on one side.
Yeah, but I didn't know that you mean like one side as in like there's a Serbian word for this, krajnost. I don't know like what the English
I
word
don't
for
know
this
the-
is.
Exact-
Like one side, like I have nothing to tell you.
Yeah. So, but like that's what I wanted to say. That
Yeah, I
like in my
understand that.
opinion, the first episode was basically there to set a scene.
Yes, I think so. I think so.
And I really love that. Like I love seeing who these characters, let's say, are right now and how much they can change. I think many characters in this episode showed so much potential. Dawn, how to say that, like surprised, it didn't surprise me at all, but at the same time surprised me a bit when I saw that he has a wife and kids. But is that also the thing, because like the entire episode we are seeing one man at work and we're seeing what he is doing and how important this is to him. So like I'm like, even the girl approached him, he moves his hand. I'm not saying I didn't envision him to have a love life. I did, you know.
Yeah.
It's just that somehow I thought this is his life.
Yeah.
You know, and then, but like maybe that's also because like I would say men in, let's say, 50s or 60s or something were not so present in their home lives.
Yeah, so
they
like
were much more
it feels
present.
like a afterthought.
Exactly, like this
Yeah.
is much more prominent
Yeah.
to them, like much more important to them. And then at the end, just like episode is about to end, I thought it's about to end.
Yeah.
He goes home and we find out that he has 2 kids and a wife. You know?
Yeah.
Somehow, let's say again, for a second that was surprising, but then when I thought about it few more seconds,
Yeah.
then it wasn't surprising at all. This is just the representations of, let's say, men at
I
the
mean,
time.
yes,
who are
he's
in
not about to
business.
be a man in his like, let's say, mid 30s, late 30s in this time, and not like have a wife and kids. Like this is, it doesn't work that way for them.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, but like I just, that's what I want to say. I just didn't love that, like that part of his life is shown at the end.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, not gonna say less important, but like it seems that like work is what he is right now.
Yeah, no, I knew that he had a wife and a kid. I knew the blonde kid, the small blonde kid. You'll recognize her when you see it. I just like when he went to this woman, I was about to say, oh, he's having an affair. Like that didn't seem like surprising, let's say, but I didn't say anything because I thought that you would not know, and I thought they wanted to like reveal that, oh, look, he has a wife.
Yeah.
And like I have in my mind that he has a wife. So I just thought it was going to be revealed somewhere throughout this episode or whatever. He seems to me like such an interesting character. I need to. What year are we in? And this is me. I have a lack of knowing American history. Like, I know the Vietnam War. I don't know when that was. I think it was the 60s. Vietnam War. It started in 55 and went on to 75. So he could have been in the Vietnam War.
Well,
Because he's not, he's, I don't know if there's like a war that was between World War II and the Vietnam War. Because he has, I think that's called the Purple Heart. And that's like, I think what you get when you're discharged because of an injury, potentially. Presented to service members who have been wounded or killed as a result of enemy actions while serving in the US military. So that was his, and I'm gonna assume he got hurt during the war, and that's why he was discharged, and now he's like living, he is this.
Yeah, I think that, that was revealed in this episode, in my opinion, because like it said Donald, I think that, like,
he's
that
Don.
was,
But like, I mean, his father.
Yes, I know, but like immediately then we heard like when he was like immediately when we saw that he's falling asleep, I thought, okay, he has been in a war and we're gonna see a dream.
Yeah.
And we didn't see a dream, we just heard the gunshots or something around, something like that, So like that is something that's also very present in his life, on his mind. Probably has PTSD from going to the war. I think that is very interesting aspect of his character in the future,
I think that explains also the kind of like nihilistic worldview that he has, like with talking about like there's no such thing as love and only like we invent love, the people that sell you something, like as if like love was this fake thing, that like is just waiting to be revealed to be fake.
I also think like when he was talking about like we will live and we die alone, like even that part, because like he saw God knows how many people just die out there, many loved ones that don't even get their bodies, get anything from them except, let's say, Purple Heart, that's maybe something that like the only thing that some people get from their loved ones who died in a war. So like I think that's where that is it the nihilistic word? Nihilistic world view
comes from definitely
as well,
and I think like he is creative director or something, and the company seems to be like a very important big company, so he's like really good at what he does, and like you see he has this type of a reputation for being this advertising guy. I don't know. But like he said something that sounded to me very interesting when he went to the woman in the beginning, when he didn't have an idea like of how to pitch this. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said something along the lines of like that he has nothing and like that he is gonna be I can't even remember exactly how the words went, but like something that means like they're gonna find out that I'm a fraud. Like it seems to me like he has some type of like how do you call that, like imposter syndrome, that like he feels like he is not as good as he is, and like he just feels like he's pretending, and that like at some point I think like it's a very common thing for people to like have like this idea that like they're just pretending to be good at something, like he doesn't believe that he is good, again, which I think goes in line with that nihilistic point of view, when like you don't even believe in yourself and like your capabilities, and you just think like, even like when you figure things out, like when you find out, when you like figure out this important advertisement, you like think it's sort of like you survived another day of pretending that you're good at this. And I think that like that also has to connect, everything has to connect potentially like with the fact that he survived a war or something.
Yeah, or was again he was injured.
Yeah,
and that's why he left them. And came back home. So yeah, I agree.
So like I find him very interesting so far.
Me too. There was also another line that was said in the show, like also about like pretending or something like that.
By him or by
potentially even by the other guy?
Oh no, the other guy that we think is gay.
Yeah, but
I mean he's very clearly gay.
Yeah, but like I had
said like, why would anyone pretend to? Do you mean that line?
Yes, but in my mind he agreed with that in that scene. So like in my mind,
yes, because they were talking about like in terms of this woman's store, that like she wants to create this how they say it, like there's not gonna be fucking coupons for her store, because the whole point is to advertise it as something that only elite can afford, so that people would be very susceptible to want to go there, and that works. And I think he said something along the lines of like, that's ridiculous, like you think people are gonna go to a store that they cannot afford because, like, to pretend that there's something that they're not. Something along those lines. Which does seem ironic, that because like I think that's what he thinks of himself. Like he thinks he's pretending something he's not.
That's what I wanted to say, because like in that moment to me it sounded like that also resonated with him as well, not just the other guy, you know? Like definitely resonated with that, but just with different things, because the other guy, it seems like, is gay and is pretending to fit into this world as a straight man, you know?
I mean, I told you the second that he said it, and like, not because like he had any type of, literally the second that he said it, like, why am I gonna look at boobs if I cannot like have sex or something? I don't know. I was like, that's so over the top. Like it seems like you're forcing yourself to say, but like when you said he could be just doing that to be like appear as one of the boys.
No,
you know,
that's
like,
how it seemed to me, because he was like so excited about the party, you know? And then when Don said I'm not going, he was like, yes, like it seemed to me like he is not confident in that moment, just saying what he thinks people who are, let's say, either superior to him or who are one of the boys, you know, would say. That's how it seemed. But like I think later it was pretty clear with all the hints and everything they said, even in the club when he was surrounded with women, and a girl said, all these men around me, and he said like, I know what you mean, you know. I think that was pretty clear.
That the guy is
that
gay.
The guy is gay in 60s. And is living this, living in a closet, you know, hiding, of course, in that time. So I honestly think that is also an interesting. Didn't think about. Didn't know what the show is about, for the love of God, you know. So like didn't think about anything, you know. But like I find that an interesting story, considering that it is placed in the 60s.
I think also it's interesting again what what they're doing, especially Don, for like how he behaves, and the line of work that he is in. It's quite literally like deceiving people. Like they were talking about like they were able to make advertisements saying that like it's healthy to smoke cigarettes. And I remember that like I remember stories about advertising in the maybe 50s or whatever, where it was about like how doctors smoke and this is healthy or whatever. That's how it was. You were allowed to say that. And now like with the regulations, you cannot advertise cigarettes, and every cigarette pack comes with like a fucking black lung to tell you how like dangerous smoking is. Like now the rules and regulations are completely different, but like he is in this business where it's not about actually promoting
good things.
Not even good things. Not about telling the truth. It's just about how to manipulate the consumer. I mean, that's what the advertising is at the end of the day. And like things have changed, I think, a lot since those days because of social media and everything. So like the advertising that you get, that like I fall for, is always gonna be the advertising with like this random person that like maybe has like 10,000 people following her that says like, my God, I love this. My whole room, I'm sure, is filled with like lip glosses that someone was like, look at this or whatever. Like those are types of advertisements that I fall for, you know, because like they seem more like realistic, but everything is curated at the end of the day. Like
I think so.
That's not how the industry works. It's changed since the 60s, but like now we're watching how it was back in the day. I don't know if like it's toasted. I don't know if that's like a real slogan that was used by Lucky Strike. It seemed like maybe it was, and they're just like going by
how it was.
How it was in the how it was back in the day. So I think his career is very interesting, considering who he is and how like cynical he is, because that's what he also is selling to the world. And I don't even think you can. I think you're gonna fall into cynicism when you know that all that you do is kind of lie and find ways to manipulate.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's a lot to be done with that.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think his character has potential, honestly, as many others, like I said.
I mean, there's like 4 standouts in the beginning immediately. Like Dawn, Peggy, what's his name?
I don't know.
Pete?
Pete?
Joan.
Joan.
Like, those are the standout characters for me this episode.
I mean, those are the characters that like episode focus the most.
I mean, there's always gonna be like a character that like it's their first day at work because you need to follow it through someone's eyes, let's say.
Yes, that's Peggy. In this case, and like we're watching her get into this corporate world for the first time and learn about all these things, you know. I also think who I'm actually very interested in is the wife of Dawn's, whatever her name is. I again, it is very interesting to see women who are in this corporate world in the 60s, but I think it would be very interesting to see a housewife and
in the 60s.
How she feels and like raising the kids and her husband is just doing the like constantly on work, very good at what he is doing, trying his best, not the first time that he didn't come home and things like that on time. I think that would also, especially if potentially he would even be unfaithful or something, I think like her story could also be very interesting, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, because again, she is like doing the thing that is expected of her. Especially in that time, it's not like, I mean, yes, you can, like, there's many women that work in this like line of work, but like I do think that still like what was represented to you as the like end goal is what they were talking about. Like, if you do your job really well, then you're not gonna be working at all. Like, you're gonna be in like a big house somewhere. I don't know. Like, that is still like what was, let's say, the most wanted outcome. And so like seeing someone that was
to be the most
that's what I mean
outcome.
So like seeing someone that's maybe like in that world, in that life, like such as Don's wife, would be very interesting.
At least, yes, for me, I think that that storyline can be all. That's what I want to say. This episode just gave me so many potential for so many storylines. Again, I love the storylines from the past, personally. So like, just like,
I just think the contrast even between like Joan and Peggy is gonna be great, because like Peggy, again, like we said, Joan has learned to function in this world, and like she, let's say, knows that to be accepted here, basically, the men need to find you attractive. And like they need to find you attractive, and they need to find you agreeable, laughing at their jokes. It's like she talks as if they were zoo animals, and like how to treat them to keep them calm or whatever. So like she knows how to function in this world, and she's used to it, and she has accepted it. And Peggy here is new, and so like you see that she like timidly tries to be here in this world. Like she immediately went and got contraceptive pills, which thank God, because the episode ended the way that it did. She went and got contraceptive pills because like she, let's say, I mean, I immediately was told how to survive in this world. And so like I think her story is gonna be different in terms of like she's gonna, I think, try to maybe stand up to it.
I think Joan will as well. I think we have 7 seasons. I think Peggy could even influence her, or she's gonna be the one who is gonna stand up first. I don't know, you know, but I think that is also the progression. That's why I think she was, again, don't know what words to use. I'm gonna use the word over the top, even though that's not what I mean, you know. But she was very, like,
I understand, like
straightforward, everything said, you know, like that is who her character is. So in my mind, she is gonna develop like.
No, I think everyone here is gonna, like, there's gonna be like Peter is an asshole frat guy, like that's what it seems, and I'm sure that there's gonna be more, like he wants to climb and he wants to take Dawn's place. It seems like he let's say, is passionate about like making in this world. So I think there can be a lot of storyline there.
I also think his and Dawn's relationship is gonna be as well, could be interesting one, you know.
Yes,
that
because I think like he hates Dawn,
I
but
think
like also like admires him and like wants to learn from him as well.
Yeah.
So I think that would be also fun. Again, I think this is still the time where like there's not 24 episodes, right? It's like 13 or something.
I think it's less.
But like I think we're still in the times where you make the plot, the pilot. Like you make the pilot and you see if the pilot passes. So like they make a pilot maybe like exaggerated to like tell you the potential, and then they like scale it back. Like it's the same thing with Sopranos, right? They like made the pilot like a year before the rest of the season, and like then they just.
I mean, I think that's like that for many shows in this time.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I think that's still like where the what day and age we're in. Like similar to, remember in the Sopranos, I think like in episode 1 it was like Tony becoming boss or something, and in episode 2 he's not boss, or then it was something weird, like it was not continuation.
Okay.
Like they changed it. So like again, I think they wanted to like set the tone and kind of the characters in a more, let's say, over exaggerated fashion, and then like there's 7 seasons, like it's not gonna be.
I think I just think this, like every character here is very, I'm gonna say over the top, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Over the top, and I think we're gonna see them develop in the future slowly, in whichever direction. Like I have no idea in which direction. I'm not saying that they're gonna become completely different people, you know, but in some direction, again, because they're completely on one side of a spectrum.
Yeah.
Every single character.
Yeah.
You know?
One side of the spectrum. That is the word.
I can't.
English today is difficult.
But that's what I want to say, because like when you translate this, because I sometimes speak English the way I speak Serbian, I just translate it.
Yeah.
You know, so like when I said on one side, and that made sense to
in
you
Serbian.
in Serbian.
Yeah. If you said it like in Serbian, one krajnost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means like when you say on one side.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Yes.
Like I'm the guy when he said toasted. Explain. There's a lot of funny bits in this episode. This is great.
Really enjoyed everything so far in episode 1.
Yeah.
It has so many potential and promise, and we're gonna watch episode 2 now.
We're gonna watch episode 2.
So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.